toxic masculinity.
Mexican officials praise Trump's border policies.
Yeah, so this is kind of a positive story. So,
Mexican officials admit Trump's border policies help them manage.
migrant influx.
Oh,
Yeah, basically, like,
that's surprising.
a lot of the Mexican officials, people in Mexico, they don't really like all the immigrants crossing through Mexico to get to the United States. They don't really like that. They don't
Why?
like.
What's the problem?
Well, they don't like immigration themselves. It was really funny, actually. Is like a lot of leftists are like, if you don't let all the Mexicans into America, you're a racist. But like, okay, well, first of all, it's not Mexicans that are coming in mostly. I don't think it's like Guatemalans and people from El Salvador, places like that. But a lot of these people are coming through Mexico. Some of them stay in Mexico. Some of them come through Mexico and go to the United States. But a lot of these people are, from cartels or gangs. They're running drugs. They're violent people. They're not the kind of people that they want in their country, even temporarily. So they didn't really like this. And in fact, I think at the border of Mexico, between Mexico and Guatemala, I think there was like some kind of a fence or border wall. So this idea that they were like, oh, we're not allowed to have a border wall between United States and Mexico, but Mexico can have a wall between Mexico and Guatemala. Again, it's more like a fence, but. And the funny thing is, there's lots of fencing on the U.S. border. So this idea that we were going to make a wall that was like more secure than the fence that already existed, I don't know why that turned into such a big political issue. It's just the Democrats being, pissy about everything. Trump was just going to make a barrier that was more secure than the one that already existed. I mean, it's just a silly thing to say that that's a bad idea. Of course, it's a good idea. Every nation in the world would recognize that. Anybody who says that they don't recognize that, they're lying. But the Mexicans, they actually appreciated Trump's policies because they didn't want people coming through Mexico to come to the United States. And it was difficult for them to keep people out. With Trump's policies, it made it a lot easier. Now with Biden's policies, taking away a lot of the Trump stuff, it's hard again. There's all this immigration
It's a
again.
huge mistake.
Of course, it's a huge mistake. So now that Mexicans are saying, look, Trump was right. And I love that. Unexpected. A little bit unexpected. Mexican officials admit Trump border policies helped them manage migrant influx. As the Biden administration struggles to house thousands of unaccompanied minors crossing the border, Mexican officials admit that former President Donald Trump's border policies helped them to manage the large influx of migrants making their way through Central America and Mexico into the United States illegally. The Biden administration's appeal to do more against migration has put Mexico in a difficult position. While Mr. Trump strong-armed Mexico into militarizing the border, some Mexican officials argue that his harsh policies may have at times helped lessen their load by deterring migrants from attempting to make the journey north. The New York Times reported on Thursday. The New York Times reported this. That's amazing. It's funny because I actually read through articles from the New York Times. Never found this one. While the Trump administration enacted policies to stop illegal immigration, Biden rolled back most of the Republicans' directives, exchanging them for what the White House calls an appropriate response to the border crisis, which Press Secretary Jen Psaki labeled a vital human challenge. It is a vital human challenge now. When Trump was in charge, it was taken care of. I mean, it wasn't perfected. The thing is, even when Trump was there, we still had a lot of work to do. We needed to finish that dang border wall.
When you have 8 years of Obama not doing anything, basically just sitting in the office with his legs on the table.
Yeah.
And Trump had just 4 years to. I mean, we hoped it would be 8 years of Trump.
Well, it should have been 8.
And Trump basically started working from the same day.
Yeah.
He walked into the Oval Office. Not like Biden signing 15 executive orders, but still a lot of work to do.
Well, I would like to say that Donald Trump should have gotten 8 years, except Biden totally fairly won the 2020 election.
Well, if Biden is going to keep doing such a terrible, not Biden, whoever.
Biden's handlers, Biden's puppeteers.
Let's say the Biden. That people will just turn to more, not to Republican side, but at least something between. Like, we don't want this to happen.
Well, unless they rig the election so much that we can't win ever again. This is something we discuss almost every episode. How we think that it's going to become so bad
I hope
that we'll
not.
never be able to
I
win
hope
any
not.
elections again. I think it'll probably happen. All right. Let's see here. Biden's directives included reinstating the deferred action for childhood arrivals, adding illegal immigrants in U.S. Census totals, ceasing construction on the southern border wall, and even replacing the word alien with non-citizen in U.S. immigration laws. Non-citizen. Oh, these people are unbelievable. I hate this whole Biden thing. It's Biden. It's Biden. It's not Biden. I don't know who it is, but it's not Biden. We got to come up with a better name for it. At the beginning of March, Mexican President Andre Manuel Lopez Obrador told reporters that many of those suddenly eager to undertake the dangerous journey across the southern U.S. border illegally view Biden as the migrant president, and his policies seem to usher in a new era of welcoming illegals. So many feel they're going to reach the United States, the Mexican president said. Biden's White House, however, denied the accusation that officials are promoting open border policies, merely doubling down on their mixed messaging, telling people to go home whilst continuing to preach about the opportunities for all inside the U.S. Yeah, your jargon is, oh, maybe you guys shouldn't come, but your actions are like, come. Of course, they're encouraging people to come to the United States. Of course they are. Of course they are. The fact that they think that they're not, or they say that they think that they're not, is really quite shocking. I mean, it's absurd. Nobody believes that. Nobody believes that they're not encouraging people to come to the United States. Let's see here. We certainly also recognize that because the president and our administration has made a decision that the way to humanely approach immigration is to allow for, for unaccompanied minors to come and be treated with humanity and be in a safe place while we're trying to get them into homes, Press Secretary Jen Psaki said before acknowledging the record-setting number of children coming across the border. We recognize that, but we made a policy decision before we felt that was the humane approach, but the facts are the facts are that the vast majority of people who come to our border are turned away, and the statistics bear that out, she said. I mean, she's in a pretty tough spot. I gotta say, Jen Psaki, she does not do well as press secretary, but she is in a pretty tough spot. She's got to explain policies that have encouraged this kind of illegal immigration, and she's basically got to, put a positive spin on it, which is not possible. I mean, she's in a very difficult spot, but she is terrible at her job. So I forgot to turn one of my lights on, so I'm a little bit dark, and so are you actually.
I'm always dark.
Do you want to flip the? No, we're almost done. We have to just do question and answers, right?
Okay, yeah.
All right, guys, we are done with the news. So if you don't want to hear us rant on about our sad lives and answer questions and comments from the people, but our show does that. Our show gives voice to the people. That's what we do at the end of every show. We let you guys be heard. So if you guys want to say something or if you want to ask a question.
Well, Larry looks so mad. Yes, I know. I know, guys.
Are you mad? Are you mad?
No, but it's my natural face expression.
That's your natural expression. Go ahead and take some questions and answer them yourself while I change the lights.
There is a super chat from Kaylee Nialis. She says, I have MS and will not be taking a vaccine. What is MS? Can you? Okay. Why aren't parents stepping forward to their children? Why not claiming their kids? Is it about immigrants?
Oh, I think that's a little too bright.
No, it's good.
Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.